If you want to be wealthy and happy, you must first understand that wealth is not only about money. Money is a tool, yes, but it is not the foundation of a joyful life. True wealth begins in your thoughts, your vision, and the way you see yourself. If your mind is filled with poverty, no amount of riches will satisfy you. If your mind is filled with abundance, even in little you will walk with confidence. You will rise with energy, and you will attract opportunities that money alone could never bring. Do not let your circumstances define you. Do not let yesterday's failures cage you. Wealth begins when you choose to see possibilities where others see obstacles. Every successful person you admire once started with nothing but a dream. They carried inside them a seed of vision, and they watered it daily with faith, discipline, and hard work. You too carry such a seed. Do not despise it. Do not bury it under fear or doubt. Nurture it. Speak life into it. Act on it. Wealth follows vision, and happiness follows purpose. But let me tell you this truth. Wealth without happiness is poverty in disguise. There are people who live in mansions but sleep in misery. There are those who have gold in their hands but emptiness in their hearts. Happiness is not something you purchase. It is something you cultivate. It comes from gratitude. When you wake up each morning and count what you have instead of crying for what you lack, happiness fills your heart. Gratitude multiplies joy. Gratitude attracts peace. And gratitude unlocks the kind of wealth that no economy, no bank, no stock market can take away. If you want to be wealthy and happy, live with purpose. Ask yourself, why am I here? What difference can I make in this short life? The happiest people are those who give more than they take, who serve more than they demand, who shine a light even in the darkest places. Wealth that blesses only you will pass away. Wealth that blesses others will outlive you. So rise today with a new vision. See yourself as abundant. Speak words of faith over your future. Work with diligence. Walk with gratitude. And remember, wealth and happiness are not far from you. They are waiting for you to claim them by the choices you make today. When we talk about wealth, most people instantly think about money, property, cars, businesses, or financial security. But here is the truth. Wealth does not begin in your bank account. It begins in your mind and in your heart. What you carry inside will always show up on the outside. If your inner world is filled with doubt, fear, and limitation, your outer world will reflect lack, struggle, and scarcity. But if your inner world is filled with vision, confidence, and abundance, then sooner or later, your outer life will align with that belief. Wealth is born within before it is ever seen without. A poor mindset can trap a person in poverty, even if they suddenly receive riches. How many stories have you heard of people winning the lottery, inheriting great amounts of money, or stumbling into sudden success, only to lose it all and end up worse than before? Why does this happen? Because money cannot save a poor mindset. You can change a man's wallet, but if you don't change his way of thinking, he will return to the same condition he came from. Wealth without the right mindset is like pouring water into a broken jar. It leaks away until nothing is left. But on the other hand, take a man or woman with vision, with courage, with a mind trained to see opportunities instead of obstacles. Even if you strip them of everything, even if you push them down to the ground, they will rise again. Why? Because their true wealth is not in what they hold, but in who they are. Their thoughts are filled with creativity. Their hearts are filled with resilience. Their vision burns like fire, and no setback can extinguish it. That is why so many of the world's greatest success stories began with people who had nothing. No money, no support, no connections. But they carried an invisible treasure within them, a wealthy mindset. You must understand, poverty is not just a lack of resources, it is a lack of vision. Wealth is not just the possession of money. It is the possession of purpose, belief, and determination. If you train your mind to think abundantly, you will begin to act abundantly. When you act abundantly, doors open, opportunities appear, and resources flow to you. Your external reality is always playing catch-up to your internal beliefs. And this is why your heart matters just as much as your mind. If your mind is full of schemes but your heart is empty of integrity, you may achieve success, but you will not sustain it. True wealth requires alignment between your thinking and your values. A wealthy heart is one that refuses greed, that chooses gratitude, that finds joy in giving, and that carries peace even in storms. People trust those with a wealthy heart. Opportunities come to those who radiate generosity, kindness, and sincerity. So, if you truly want to be wealthy and happy, start within. Train your mind to see possibilities where others see problems. Fill your heart with gratitude, courage, and integrity. Each day, feed yourself with positive thoughts, empowering words, and bold visions. Stop speaking defeat over your life. Stop saying, "I can't," and begin to say, "I will." Stop looking at what you lack and begin to use what you have. The seeds of wealth are already within you. They are your talents, your ideas, your dreams, your persistence. Plant them, nurture them, and guard them. Never forget, the richest soil is not found in banks or markets. It is found in the human mind and the human heart. Every empire began as a thought. Every fortune began as a vision. Every legacy began as a dream in someone's soul. So look inward and you will see. You already carry the greatest wealth. The rest of the world is simply waiting for you to manifest it. Happiness is one of the deepest desires of the human heart. Every person longs for it. Every culture celebrates it, and every soul searches for it. Yet so many people spend their lives chasing after things that never bring true happiness. They collect possessions, they climb ladders, they fill their homes with objects, but still they feel empty. Why? Because happiness does not live in things. It lives in meaning. It lives in gratitude. It lives in the way you choose to live every single day. Think about it. If possessions alone could give happiness, then the wealthiest people on earth would also be the happiest people on earth. But you and I know that is not true. There are countless examples of men and women who had everything money could buy, yet they carried misery in their hearts. Fame, riches, and luxury could not heal their brokenness. On the other hand, I have seen people with very little in terms of material possessions who radiate joy, peace, and laughter. Why? Because they have discovered a truth that escapes many. Happiness is not something you buy, it is something you build. The first pillar of happiness is purpose. Without purpose, life feels empty, no matter how much you have. When you wake up each day with no reason, no vision, no mission, then even pleasures taste bitter, and achievements feel hollow. But when you live with purpose, when you know why you are here, who you are serving, and what legacy you are building, then even the smallest actions carry joy. A person with purpose can endure trials, survive storms, and rise above challenges, because they are anchored in meaning. Purpose turns ordinary living into extraordinary living. The second pillar of happiness is gratitude. Gratitude is the key that unlocks joy in the human soul. A grateful heart sees blessings where others see burdens. A grateful person can smile in the midst of difficulty, because they focus not on what is missing, but on what is present. Gratitude magnifies joy and multiplies peace. When you thank life for what you already have, more flows to you. But when you complain about what you lack, even what you possess feels small and unsatisfying. Happiness does not come from having more, it comes from appreciating more. Gratitude is the language of abundance. The third pillar of happiness is the way you live each day. Happiness is not found in some distant tomorrow. It is crafted in the choices of today. It is in the conversations you nurture, the kindness you extend, the laughter you share, and the peace you carry. Many people waste their lives waiting for a perfect day to be happy. When they have more money, when they buy the car, when they get the promotion, when the house is bigger, when everything falls into place. But happiness cannot be postponed. Happiness must be practiced now. If you cannot be happy in a little, you will not be happy in much. If you cannot find joy in the journey, you will not find it at the destination. True happiness is a daily decision. It is the decision to forgive instead of holding bitterness. It is the decision to give instead of always taking. It is the decision to love instead of hating. It is the decision to wake up and say, "Today is a gift and I will rejoice in it." Happiness does not visit you. Happiness is built by the habits of your heart and the focus of your mind. So, if you want to be wealthy and happy, do not only chase possessions, chase purpose. Do not only count your money, count your blessings. Do not only wait for tomorrow, embrace today. A life of meaning, gratitude, and daily joy is the richest life a human being can live. Wealth and happiness are not mysteries hidden in distant lands. They are treasures planted deep within you. True wealth does not begin with money in your pocket, but with vision in your mind and faith in your heart. And true happiness does not flow from possessions or status, but from living with purpose, walking in gratitude, and embracing each day as a gift. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you must rise above the shallow definitions of success the world throws at you. You must understand that your thoughts shape your reality, and your gratitude shapes your joy. Fill your mind with abundance, and opportunities will follow. Fill your heart with gratitude and purpose, and happiness will overflow. The path to wealth is not only about accumulation, it is about transformation. The path to happiness is not about waiting for perfect conditions. It is about creating meaning right where you are. Together they form a life that is not just rich but fulfilled. So stand tall, dream boldly, act courageously, and live gratefully. Do not just chase wealth, create it from within. Do not just chase happiness, live it through purpose and gratitude. And when you do, you will not only prosper in your hands, you will prosper in your soul. That is the life worth living.